It is pretty rainy where I am, and that is because we are in the Daintree Rainforest, which is a tropical rainforest in tropical North Queensland in Australia. And a lot of people don't even know that there's tropical rainforest in Australia, but actually this is part of the wet tropical rainforest that is the oldest continually surviving rainforest in the world, so it's a pretty big deal. It's dawn right now. I'm going to be taking you all over the Daintree Rainforest until dusk so we can capture all that life and all that movement happening. So yeah, stick around and enjoy it. We won't be covering the entire 1200 kilometers squared, but we will cover some. So right now what you can see behind me is Thompson Creek. It flows down to the ocean, which is that away, that you can't see it here, but it's actually pretty close. And this part where I am now is Cape Tribulation, and this is sort of known as where the rainforest meets the reef, because you've got like Rainforest Beach, Great Barrier Reef. It's a really amazing place to be, and this is one of the streams that feed the ocean. We're now at another creek. This is Mile Creek. M-Y-A-L-L, not mile as I always thought it was. There are crocodiles in this area. You're sort of known that there's only a couple spots around here that you can swim, and one of them is definitely not the ocean. But I haven't seen any so far. We would be extremely lucky to see one today, or unlucky, depending. Look, they are everywhere. I'd recognise these guys anywhere. Pond skaters! I grew up catching these. I'm wondering how they managed to skate across the water. It's all to do with surface tension. Look at them go. Ah, amazing. These palms are my absolute favourite palms. We've all got a favourite palm, and this is mine. It's a fan palm, and when the sun's overhead and it's just shining through, you get all this green light on the ground, and it's just absolutely beautiful. The scientific name for these fan palms is Licuala ramsayi. I'm never sure if I'm saying it right, probably not. They've got a lot of history in Aboriginal culture, so Aboriginal have used them as edible cabbage or to wrap their food up. The young leaves can be used as cigarette papers, they're used for thatch. Palms can grow very well in tropical rainforests. They can survive at lower soil oxygen levels. This means where the soil is very waterlogged and very wet, they can actually thrive where other rainforest plants may not be able to. As you can see, damp. I love the sound of the rain on them as well, like lovely drums. There are 16 species of palm in the Daintree Rainforest. This is just one of them. I'm hoping we will see more. Well, I'm sure I can see more right now, so yeah, we will see more. But yeah, I just think these are absolutely spectacular, and they just make me feel like I'm in Jurassic Park or something. Pretty much every tree species has pretty special relationships with birds, and these fan palms are no different. The leaf fibres are used for nests by birds such as starlings. Other birds can shelter in them, use them as umbrellas. I'm kind of using them as an umbrella right now. Can confirm, effective. There's one particular bird that I want to talk to you about. That is the cassowary. I don't know if you've heard of cassowaries, but they're amazing. So they eat the fruit from the fan palms. They are basically, imagine like a 6 foot tall, aggressive blue turkey. And that is a cassowary. I saw a couple around here like 6-7 years ago. I'm hoping to see them while I'm staying out here now, but so far I haven't, and I keep meeting people at the research base that are like, oh yeah, I saw 5, and it's like, okay. I haven't seen any, but that's fine, I guess. They're fairly elusive because they eat the palm fruit. Palm forests in the rainforest are pretty rare. They get cleared a lot for farms and that kind of thing. And around here that has really severely affected the lowland cassowary populations, which is a real bummer because they're pretty elusive and they're pretty cool birds. And again, a lot of people don't seem to have heard of them. I really hope we can see them. So I've just come across a very important tree for many reasons, partly because it's my favourite tree. Again, favourite palm, favourite tree, everyone has those. So this is a little strangler fig here, encompassing this tree underneath. And this is my strangler fig tree tattoo. So why do I have a strangler fig tree tattoo? Which is a question you may be asking. They're my favourite tree. They're really cool. The way that they grow is they start in the canopy. A bat or a bird drops a fruit in the canopy of another tree. This then grows because it will land on rotting soil or rotting leaves, kind of forming a soil in the canopy, and it will start to grow, and it starts growing as these vines. But basically wherever these vines touch, wherever the roots touch, they fuse. So gradually they just keep fusing and fusing and encasing the support tree that it's growing on until it strangles it. Basically it strangles the tree underneath, and that tree rots away. And when you see these big old strangler figs, they're absolutely amazing. It's just a hollow like matrix of vines just completely encased where this other tree used to be. Like, it's an amazing way of growing. I've told people about strangler figs before and how much I love them. That's why I got a tattoo of them. Once I tell them how they grow, they've been very concerned and like, is that a metaphor for something? Is this a meaning? No, it's not any sort of dark meaning. I just think the way that they grow is so cool and so amazing, and trees are so great that I just had to have it permanently etched on my body, and that's what happened. A lot of animals depend on this tree. Pigeons, flying foxes, which are those big bats. I love those. They're probably one of my favourite rainforest animals. Sloths obviously, but they're not here. Cassowaries as well, they eat the fruit. White-tailed rats, and I actually saw one of those, no, two of those a few nights ago. It'll be cool if we saw them again, but mammals are pretty hard to spot in the daytime. Normally at night you go out with a torch and you look for eye shine, and I'm kind of notoriously bad at spotting animals and herps and all kinds of things because I love trees. Trees are my main thing, and I tend to look around like, oh, trees, oh, I love trees, oh, look at that tree, that's a great tree. And there could be like a snake hanging off it and I'd be like, wow, good leaves around that snake. I just get taken away by the leaves, to be honest, but I'm trying really hard to really look, so we'll find some cool stuff, don't you worry. But yeah, the white-tailed rat, they're like as big as my face, which is a standard unit of measurement, obviously. Some nice moss grows very well here as it's incredibly damp. Where are you, Cassowaries? Got this lovely vine growing up the tree. Plenty of vines around. Contrary to what movies and TV tell you, never swing on vines. It's super tempting, and I definitely did it when I was younger and didn't know any better. They're not always super secure, often attached to branches, and if you sit on them or swing on them, you could pull a branch down on your head and die. So don't do that. You also don't want to break a vine. Like, they've been growing for ages, leave them alone. And here we can see two trees having a cuddle. Aww. Downside of it being wet, apart from the obvious, I am wet and I would rather not be. We're unlikely to see reptiles, which is kind of a bummer because there's some real cute skinks running around usually. Snakes, I've seen quite a lot of snakes here actually. Some venomous ones, some kind of harmless big carpet pythons, I like those. I think that these are paperbark satin ash trees. So you can see they've got kind of a distinctive orange, more of an orangey bark compared to, say, this guy here. It's a bit of paperbark that's fallen down. I like it. So smooth. It's not really used in industry, not for actual paper or anything like that. It's just called paperbark because of the, the papery bark. But I believe its flowers are used in the perfume industry. I think they smell pretty nice. Oh my god. Sorry, that was a mosquito. Oh, stop. Mosquitoes really lovely. Lovely? Mosquitoes really love me, which I think is super cruel, seeing as my entire life is based around rainforests and how much I love rainforests, and just seems really unfair. So I sort of usually have to smother myself in DEET, which is really nasty stuff and not good for you. It's not good for the rainforest. No one wants to wear it, but the natural stuff doesn't work for me, and I get bitten every 10 seconds if I'm not wearing it. Although today I'm pretty covered up because of the rain, so hopefully I'll be okay. Although I've already got one bite. I think I killed it, so I think we're even. These are some really nice buttress roots, this sort of big sideways roots. You may already know this, but rainforest soil is actually very poor in nutrition because of all the rain. All the nutrients sort of get washed away before they've got time to penetrate down. These buttress roots are pretty good because you can see they provide really good stability, because the trees that grow here often can't have very deep roots because there's no nutrition down there. So this sort of increases the surface area more towards the surface of the trees, gives it all the stability that it wouldn't have otherwise, and basically allows it to grow. Isn't evolution amazing? Aren't rainforests amazing? Aren't buttress roots amazing? Ah, so cool. My favourite root. You may be pleased to know I found something interesting that isn't a tree. It's a snail. These are one of my favourite animals too. I think they're cool. I used to be a snail care assistant. That was my official title. And I basically washed them, hung out with them, played the music, fed them. It was a sick job. Look at this mangrove. Check it out. I assume we'll find just herds of crocodiles. Is that what they're called? They're probably not herds. Finding things. Or not finding things. Or just showing you trees. Yeah! I am having the best time. I've never been so happy to be awake early. More paperbuck Sutton ash trees. Oh, look at that, really peeling. Oh, I found something very exciting. You see this here, which looks like a bit like a bird's nest maybe, but it's not. It's actually a bird's nest fern. So it's a fern that just looks like a bird nest. Really amazing. They're epiphytes. So there's a few epiphytes around here, and we'll try and find the other types as well. So they grow kind of starting off the same way as I said strangler figs do. So a seed lands on a nice patch of compost on the tree, just starts growing and growing and growing. The difference is strangler figs, as I said before, become parasitic. Bird's nest ferns are not parasitic, they are epiphytic, a plant that grows on another plant without being parasitic. So strangler figs actually start off life as epiphytes, just innocently growing, and then obviously become majorly parasitic, taking nutrients from the tree it's strangling and all that jazz. Whereas the tree actually sometimes, the tree that this fern is growing on, sometimes puts roots into the fern to take some of its nutrition, so it's kind of the other way around. So yeah, epiphytes are brilliant. They're really, really interesting. So it's 8:25, been at it for about 2 hours now. A lot of fun. Still no cassowaries. That is not acceptable. I mean, we've got like another 10 hours, so I'm gonna be so mad if they don't show up. Hopefully we will see them. They do exist, I swear. Got some cool curly whirly vines over there. Not their official name. Maybe it should be. They are very curly whirly. We found one of my favourite plants ever. So I don't know if you even know what you're looking at right now, but this in Australia is called sensitive weed. In other countries it's called sensitive plant, but it is actually a weed here. You can see the little purple pom-pom flowers and these green little fern-like grey. Originally from Brazil, it's pretty difficult to get rid of once it's around. The name is Mimosa pudica, but you don't want to drink this or eat it because it's super duper toxic. As with all, well, almost all toxic plants have medicinal effects. That is the upside. It can be used in antibiotics, as antimicrobials, antidepressants and sedatives. So they're pretty useful, but the reason I love them so much is actually because of this. Hang on, let's find a nice one. Just gonna give a little, oh, little touch. Oh, look at it go! Oh my goodness, I love it so much. The exciting things about it is that we don't actually fully understand the mechanism that makes this happen, this folding happen just from touching or shaking or warmth. It's really cool. It's something to do with pressure being lost from the cells. It still needs to be fully elucidated. So it's just one of these exciting like unknowns. And this is the thing that's so great about studying plants in general, is there's still so many unknown plant species, and even the plants that we do know, still many unknowns in terms of how they operate and what functions they have. It's just so exciting. So the stems that it exposes after folding are pretty thorny, so it's a bit of a defense mechanism against being eaten. I've never tried breathing on one. Obviously that's going to happen now. Oh my god! That's so cool. I didn't even know it did that. That's amazing. That was so exciting. What a day. What an absolute day. This is fantastic. Here we've got some seed kits. Pretty good. So this is cool. We're back with my fan palm friends. I'm a big fan. I'm sorry. Well, if you're still here, you tolerated that pun. There's really cool stuff here. So you can kind of see some tree roots actually growing up the tree. They look kind of like vines. The curly one is a vine, but the ones around it, the shredder ones, those are actually tree roots coming from other trees around the fan palms. There's a good one example here. Because the rainforest soil is so nutrient poor, the tree roots are growing up the fan palms to where the fronds come out. So where the fronds come out, obviously there's decomposition happening there, nutrition is therefore found there, so these tree roots actually grow up the fan palm and steal their food. How do these trees get their nutrients if they're just washed away so constantly, as being demonstrated very well but all of this rain? The roots of these trees have microscopic fungi. Because the trees and the tree roots absorb nutrients so slowly, the fungi actually absorb the nutrients for them, transfer them to the tree, and in return the tree gives them sugar. So it's a mutualistic relationship. It's very beneficial to both parties. Here we can see rattans, which are pretty amazing. They have these little spikes on them like grappling hooks to climb their way up trees. They can grow up to 200 meters in length. They can pump water at a rate of 1 meter per minute, which is absolutely astounding. They tend to hook onto these trees and grow up other trees using them as a support, and when they get too heavy they just crash back down, and then they do it all over again, so they can get really long, really big. Another epiphyte. So this is a basket fern. And you can see it's got two different kinds of fronds. You've got the shorter, wider ones at the bottom. Those are used to collect leaf litter from nutrients basically, and also to shade the roots, known as the rhizosomes. The green fronds are the spore-bearing part of the epiphyte. There's quite a lot of insect damage on these ones. Not the healthiest example of a basket fern. You can see very well the bottom frond, so I wanted to show you guys that. Check out this lovely knotted vine. Look at it go. It just keeps going up and up. Some nice roots down there. Pretty cool. So let's talk a little bit more about the Daintree rainforest. It takes up around 0.1% of Australia's total landmass, but despite this, it has 7% of the country's bird species, 30% of the country's marsupial, frog and reptile species, and amazingly, 90% of the country's butterfly and bat species. So it's really important, really diverse. Got over 12,000 different insect species. It's just a wonderful place. But as with almost all rainforests, it's kind of a high diversity, low abundance type thing, hence why you can walk around for hours and yeah, not a single cassowary. Sometimes you can find cool stuff if you look under leaves. Let's do this. Nope. 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 This is why it's really good to be a sort of plant scientist or generic plant lover, because you're just always satisfied. Look how many plants, like, oh my god, I can see all the plants. Like, you don't have to, if you're like a herpetologist, it's like, oh, I've got to look for the frogs, like, where are the frogs? Or mammals, you're just like, oh, I heard there's a jaguar, let's set up a video camera and film it for 8 months and hope that one comes on screen a little bit. When you're a botanist, I found them! Look how great they are! Yeah! This is just potentially the first time I've seen sunlight in about 2 weeks. Wow. So bright, so beautiful. Look, you can see insects. Did you see them? Kind of far away, maybe not. I did though. Yay! So here we have an excellent example of tree survival. You've got this stump here which has fallen down, and out of the base you have a totally new tree growing, a new sapling. Isn't that amazing? It's like, nah, I'm gonna live anyway. Sprout a new me. Really enjoying this patch of light. Thought you might like it too. So the time is 9:32. Been at it for 3 hours. It took a little while to calculate. So I said before, this rainforest comes straight onto the beach. I feel like I need a little break. Like, I need to sit down, put my bag down, regroup, and then we'll do another lap. And this time we'll find cassowaries. For now, I rest on the beach. Reasons not to swim in Australia. Also, the vinegar's gone, so maybe do just pee on your friend. You see another warning sign there for crocodiles? I mean, look how amazing and beautiful this is. Crocodiles. So there was a girl who actually died here. I know at least one. Because she was swimming, so you don't swim really. I have been known to paddle. So this is what I mean when I say the rainforest comes right down to the edge of the beach. It really does, it's absolutely stunning. So I'm not gonna lie, part of the reason I'm here is because there's a patch on this beach which seems to be the only place in Cape Tribulation where you can get 3G, and I really miss Instagram. I'm gonna find it, have my break, munch some crisps. This headland here. So I know there's a walk through there to Cape Trib headland, beach, bay thing. So I think we'll go through there, we'll look at that rainforest too, see what's around there, because it might be a bit different. Where's the 3G? I'm at the patch where I normally get 3G. I don't have 3G. I'm hoping it will just turn up, I don't really know, maybe it's like faded. If you're coming to Cape Tribulation and you want to know where this patch is that sometimes has 3G, come onto the beach, turn left, and then just keep walking until you get to the bit that it looks like there might be crocodiles. And just wait. Bring some crisps. So 3G never arrived, but yeah, whatever. We're just walking to that headland I was talking about. I actually have something really cool I can show you there. I came here a while ago with my friend. While he was peeing, he found like a little hole in a tree which had gecko eggs in it, and I've sort of been trying to keep an eye on them and see if they hatch. And I don't really know anything about gecko eggs. I don't know how long they take from like being an egg to hatching. where the gecko eggs are / were, depending on how things are fed for them. They're still in there. Oh, there's definitely fewer than last time. There's a hatched one. Congratulations. Oh great, so there are new geckos in the world. Hooray! Was exciting. I'm pretty happy that at least some have survived. Gonna go back into the forest and see what else we can find. Cocoa nuts. We are now on a trail. I don't actually know where the trail goes. This is where we're going now. Very exciting. So remember those buttress roots I talked about earlier? Despite providing pretty good stability, you can see they don't go deep at all. So this is one that's fallen over. RIP. But again, wherever there's tree fall in a rainforest, you get so much new growth. It doesn't just end, it clears a patch in the canopy, which lets more light through. And then there's saplings and small plants and rattans and things like that that will have just been sheltering down here for a while. And then the new light and increased space and everything, they can just grow. And so you get this competitive, scrubby type thing. We've got medium saplings and what's this? Rattan? Maybe. And smaller ones as well. There's a smaller one behind me. So yeah, new life. This one actually has vinegar, so that's a nice start. Probs don't swim though, because of this. Dun, dun, dun. So there's some cool insect damage here. You can see that something's just eaten its way through these leaves. I like the patterns it's going for. Very soft on the underside. So this is Cape Tribulation Beach. Absolutely amazing. I still remember the first time I came here years ago. I think I pretty much just lay on the ground in like a bit that was more like a puddle than the sea. So I was like, oh, I'm safe from crocodiles, but I got to lie in the water. And I played football. Those are my memories. It's an absolutely amazing beach, and the weather has cleared up so nicely. Like I don't even have sunscreen with me. That's how much I wasn't expecting this. So I got mad, but yeah, we just have a little walk along here and then get back to the rainforest. Everything's definitely coming to life now with the improved weather, and probably just because it's later in the day. Check out that basket fern. Nice. Fish turkey. So we're back on the boardwalk, so I'm going to see if we can find anything new this time. So much drier now, I love it. Like, what even is rain? This is excellent. I'm hoping we'll see like more insects, butterflies, cassowaries, and whatever else. It's amazing how light just completely transforms the rainforest. Like if you flick back to things I was posting earlier when it was raining, like I mean that was beautiful as well, but it's just amazing how it can be transformed and looks so different. There's a fantastic fungal specimen down there. Here we have got a shield spider. Here we can see recycling occurring. Fungi are known as dendrophytes. They basically break down all the dead rubbish on the floor. Well, it's not rubbish, that's the whole point, they recycle it. They're the ones that sort of decompose the wood, and if we didn't have fungi and decomposers, then trees and everything, they just wouldn't die, they wouldn't rot, they just stay there. So here it is, growing on dead bit of wood, breaking it down, and that will all go into the soil and be nutrition, which will then be taken back up by a tree. Up there we have a Ulysses butterfly. saw a cassowary! We did it! It's been, what even time is it? I don't even know. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like 6 hours. And we finally saw a cassowary. I'm so happy. That was so worth it. I came around the corner, I was like chatting, and then it was there. And I know it's not the best video, but we saw a cassowary, Wow, I am truly delighted. And I feel very much now that I can go have some lunch and have a break, and then we'll go back into it. I feel bad. I saw it better than I filmed it. I just was overwhelmed with joy. That's such a success. So now I'm gonna go forage for food. I'll let you know what I find. Goodbye. So I did something really stupid. First I did something smart. I had lunch at my favourite lunch spot in Cape Trib, Boardwalk, which was really nice. And I went to charge my phone, which had 3% battery because of all the filming I've done today. And I brought the wrong cable. So I've had to walk back to the research station, had a cup of tea, and yeah, heading back out now, back to where I was before. So yeah, but we'll see what we can see on the way again, and maybe we'll even see more cassowaries on the walk, who knows. This is a seed pod from a matchbox vine. It's just fallen down. You open it up and you get these seeds on the inside. So exhausted. I've been walking around pretty much non-stop since 6:30 and it's now like 3:30. Expect the content to get more sleepy. Back at it now, back in the rainforest. Apparently the cassowary we saw has been around with his chick for a while recently and doing all kinds of strange behaviour, so I'm hoping that maybe we can see him again. That would be banging. All very quiet and peaceful. I realised I haven't really told you anything about Cape Tribulation other than I'm here. Cape Tribulation is basically a town in the Daintree rainforest. There's about 120 people living here. I love it. I think it's probably my favourite place in the world. It's amazing because like you've got this really ancient rainforest and then you've got these absolutely like stunning tropical beaches that you can't compare. Like they're amazing. But then also I just went to a little shop and I bought naan bread, so it's really got everything I need. I'm really happy here. It tends to feel quite dark earlier on under the canopy obviously because you've got all of that cover. So I keep thinking it's like, oh, it's dusk now, but then I see the sky and it's not. It's fine. Let's see if we can find our cassowary friend again. So you can see there, you can see how it comes off in these little nodules and it sort of branches like a horn. It's an elk horn, so if you're ever in a rainforest, definitely make sure you keep looking up at the canopy, not just for mammals, but also for all the amazing plant life, the amazing epiphytes you can find up there. I'm just going to walk very quietly, and listen out for things. Cassowary. It's not a cassowary. Clearly this is prime digging time. Quite gloomy in here now. I don't think it looks as gloomy on the screen, but it's getting hard to see things. There's definitely less going on. A lot of bird noises going on. So if anyone really loves scrub fowl, I've discovered that 5 to 5:30 is clearly the optimum time. Look how funny he is digging for bugs. They're funny little birds. Definitely something noisy over here. But where? So the problem with this boardwalk is that none of the turnings are signposted. I may have just realised I've done 2 big loops. I've walked past this woman twice and we've both been like, you again. Still looking out for things equally. Trying to get to the beach so I can watch the sun go down and get back home. I'm very tired. I'll let you know if I get back before midnight. Made it. Whew. Made it to the beach. Very nice at this time. Tranquil. So the rainforest at dusk around here, it's just like a symphony of bird noise. I didn't hear my favourite one though, which is the butcher bird, which makes a really weird noise. It's like wait. It's really funny. Trip tripped over some coral. So there's a nice little rope swing here. Just gonna swing on it and then I'm gonna go back. And that's my day completed. This is my rope swing. This is what I'm gonna be getting up to now. Good night.